man, there's so many coffee grounds in this. Coffee grounds, delicious. Hey, howdy. Today I thought that I would do the reading habits TBR. The first question is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? Kind of just read everywhere. I mean, we don't have a lot of, like, it's one bedroom. So I have like my couch and then my bed, and that's pretty much it as far as reading space goes. I have a chair. I don't really sit in that as much unless I'm like smoking out the sliding door and reading. So I guess I read there too. But I don't have like a specific spot where I'm like, this is my reading spot. Question number 2 is bookmark or random piece of paper. I am a big endorser of bookmarks. I have a little book. Sorry, move skeleton guy. It's like a hollow book, and it holds all of my bookmarks that I have. And I usually switch them out. Like every book, I'll pick a new bookmark for it, because I'm neurotic like that. This video is really gonna just show you how neurotic of a person I am. Maybe I should make a video showing you guys, yeah? You like that? You like bookmarks? No, you can't eat him. No. Maybe I should make a video showing you guys my bookmark collection. Guest cameo from Midge. What a sweetie! What a sweetie! Go on. Go lie down. Okay, or sit there, that's fine too. Question number 3. Don't look at my nails. It's a quarantine. We all have to make sacrifices. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter / certain amount of pages? I have to stop after a chapter. I cannot just stop in the middle of a chapter. Like, if I'm gonna sit down and read, I'll say, okay, how many pages are in this chapter? Do I have enough time to read them? Like, I cannot stop in the middle of chapters, which was really bad for me when I was reading The Secret History a couple weeks ago, because the chapters in that book are an average of 100 pages long. And it took me, like, I had to have at least 2 hours every time I sat down to read it, which thankfully I did, because I'm in quarantine, so I haven't left the house in God knows how long, but it literally is so annoying when books are like that and they have incredibly long chapters. I like when books have shorter chapters, because then I can just be like, oh, I have 10 minutes, I'll read a chapter, it's a couple pages. But yeah, I cannot stop in the middle, otherwise I just forget what's going on and I can't find a good stopping point and my brain just doesn't like it. Question number 4. Do you eat or drink while reading? I don't really ever eat while reading. I do drink stuff though. Alcohol. I drink like coffee or tea or hot cocoa or water if I'm in the bath. Always drink water if you're in the bath, because otherwise you can get too hot and it can make you feel really sick. I don't know if maybe it's just me that has that problem, but if you have that problem, try drinking a cup of ice water. America. Question number 5. Multitasking. Music or TV while reading? I don't know who the hell watches TV while they're reading. I've never. I could not pay attention to my book and TV. I do listen to music sometimes when I read, but if I do, it has to be without lyrics. Usually I pick like classical or like some kind of like chill hop lo-fi mix on YouTube. So usually I can't have like lyrics that'll distract me. Or I guess sometimes if I'm reading like a musician's memoir, I'll listen to the music of that musician. Like when I just finished Debbie Harry's memoir, I listened to Blondie the whole time I read it, just to like really set myself in the mood, you know? Question number 6. One book at a time or several at once? I'm a several at once type of person, in that I listen to an audiobook and I'm reading an ebook and I'm reading a physical book at the same time usually. But I don't usually read more than one physical book at a time. I'll have those other 2 going online for like when I am either on walks or when I'm on like break at work and I don't want to bring a book with me. then I'll have those ones going as well, but I usually only have one physical book going at a time. Otherwise it just gets too much, and then I don't know what I want to read, and then I end up confusing the storylines with each other, and it's just, it all sticks in my head as one book, and that's no good. Question number 7, reading at home or everywhere? I'm a person that reads everywhere. Except now I only read at home because I don't go anywhere, because this is a quarantine, people. Stay the fuck inside. But in a normal circumstance, I'm a read everywhere person. Like, I bring my books with me to the park, I bring my books with me to, like, work, I bring my books to my friend's house in case I get bored, you know? Just kind of everywhere. So what I used to do a lot when I was, like, a kid is I'd bring books to everything and just read everywhere, no matter what. I used to play the cello in school, and I was in this thing called Honor Orchestra, which was like the extracurricular orchestra for the overachievers, and so I used to go to that every Wednesday, and it was so boring. I remember being so bored by it, and I would just sit on my cello and like read my book, like put my book on my cello and like read. I also used to sleep on my cello too, like in the middle of class. Like, I would like lay my head on my cello and take a nap. I was a mess. I was pretty good at the cello, though, not gonna lie, despite the fact that I clearly was not paying attention. What was the question? Reading at home or everywhere? Everywhere. Number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. Depends on the day. Mostly silently in my head, but I do like to read to my dog. Mostly when I'm like starting a book or I'm having a hard time getting into a book, because if I read it out loud, it is easier for me to concentrate and not have my mind wander. She loves the classics. I just read her Turn of the Screw a couple months back by Henry James. She loved it. Number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? I've never skipped pages. I don't know who the fuck does that. Are you just like reading along and you're like, I don't like this part. Let's skip 50 pages ahead and see if I like this part. Do people do that? I've never done that. I guess sometimes I'll like skim ahead. Like, if someone like is in peril or like might be dead, I'll like skim ahead to see if they're dead or not dead. Or like if I get really into a book, sometimes I'll skip like, without even realizing it, I'll skip like the she said, he said, like those little in-between dialogue bits. But other than that, I think if you are skipping pages, you're not really reading the book, right? Like, why are you reading if you're gonna skip pages? You have to read all the pages. That's the point of the book. That's like watching a movie and then skipping, like, 20 minutes of the movie. Ridiculous. Question 10. Breaking the spine or keeping it like new? I would never break the spine of a book. I'm like, and this goes for everything in my life, this has always been a thing with me, I like to keep my new stuff new. I used to buy toys and like keep the packaging and put them back in the packaging when I was done playing with them for the first time, just to like keep them new. I don't know what it is, I guess in my brain, if I spend money on something, it needs to stay nice, and I'm that way with all of my books. Like, I have no issue with buying books used and like having books that are torn up a little. Like, I don't have an issue with that. But it's like, if I buy a brand new book from Barnes & Noble, I'm going to find the nicest copy that they have of that book. Like, I'm going to look through all the copies. I will pick the copy that I like the most. And if there isn't a copy there that's perfect, I will, like, literally not buy the book. Like, I'll leave it, and I'll be like, okay, I'll come back another time and see if they have, like, a good copy. Because I guess, like, if I'm gonna spend my money on it, I want it to be of good quality. Books are expensive. $20 is a lot. And if I'm gonna be shelling out $20 for a book, like, I have no issue doing that because I love books and I love reading, but I want it to be nice, you know? And then I'm gonna keep it nice. If it's a massive inconvenience to me to keep it nice, then I won't bother, but usually it's not, and usually I just like, I like them to look good. So that's my opinion on that. Probably more opinion than you ever needed on that. Number 11, now that I've just finished talking about how much I like to keep my books nice, question number 11 is, do you write in your books? And the answer is yes, I do. Not if it's not my book, then I won't write in it. But if it is my book, then usually I like highlight lines that I like. I don't usually like annotate books that I'm reading for fun, but if I'm reading book for school, I will absolutely annotate it everywhere. When I read books for school, I do this thing, maybe I'll make a video on this sometime too. I'll do this thing where I like will write jokes in the margin, kind of like Mystery Science Theater. If you haven't seen Mystery Science Theater, it's a show where like they watch a movie and they make fun of the movie as they go, because it's like a boring movie. Or like a poorly made movie, and I'll do the same thing with books for school. Like if it's a boring book that I don't want to read, I'll write little jokes in the margins or like little sarcastic comments to like keep it in my mind and make sure that I'm actually following the story, which I personally have found very helpful. So maybe if you struggle reading books, that could help you as well. That's the end of the questions, and I also have to poop from drinking this coffee, so now's a good time to leave you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, go fuck yourself. I don't know. Bye!